Hello everyone, welcome back to Black Heaven, a necromantic dating sim. Let's go ahead and continue. It's naked and its skin is a strange shade of blue, like it's been afflicted by frostbite. It wails and stumbles along, grasping at its face. You notice its skin looks like it's slowing off in some places, like it's been melted. As it lifts its hand from its face, a long ribbon of flesh from its cheek stretches from it. Ghost. The figure stumbles vaguely in your direction, and you back away. It moans and clutches its chest, and you watch it double over and vomit. A stream of glistening black organs spills out of its mouth, a kidney, a lung, and a chunk of intestines. Even in the dim, hazy light, you can see they're all black with cancer. The ghost raises its head and spots you. Help me. You stop backing away and glance around. Doesn't seem hostile. Maybe I can. The ghost staggers closer, then lowers its head and silently runs at you. Oh my god, it has the ability to run? Jeez. It slams into you at a sprint and wraps its arms around you, but you manage to stay standing. Immediately, start trying to push it off. As you struggle with the ghost, you hear a hissing sound and the smell of a sharp, acrid scent. When you glance down, you see smoke rising from where your clothes touch the ghost's flesh. What the hell? You plant a foot on the ghost's chest and try to shout off, but it's too close for you to get much leverage. Instead, you tumble to the ground with the ghost on top of you. Fucking get off! But the ghost ignores you. Its flesh keeps burning away at your clothing until you see the skin of your chest exposed. Like a vulture, the ghost starts clawing your chest and burying its face in your skin. Give me. You ram your knee against the ghost's chest and push it off. By the time you scramble to your feet, there's a sharp pain in your chest. You look down and see huge, ragged patches of skin missing from your torso. When you look at the ghost, you see your fresh skin partly spread across its face and hands, melded to its frame. It's trying to steal my skin. The ghost leaps out at you on all fours and tackles you again. This time it tears off your mask and presses hands to your face. You try to hold back its arms, but its flesh burns your palms. As you scream and grunt, its fingers dig in your cheeks, tearing the skin from your jaws. No flesh, no cancer, no burns. The last thing you see before the pain and terror overwhelms you is the ghost's empty sockets, staring down at you. Did he die? Oh shit, he died. I'll get that. Okay, I'm sure. I hope. I think I went the wrong way. Let's see, I died, so... This is gonna give me insanity, but... So, we went the wrong way. So, we go for Lisa's ghost again. And, her room. She probably holed up in her room. And if her ghost isn't there, it's probably the best place to look for clues. You get up from the table and gather your strength, then head for the exit of the library. Oh, let's see. Will I meet the ghost again? Did I choose it wrong? Let's see. Oh, Jesus Christ. That was terrifying. Well, that's new stuff I didn't read. Okay. You push open the doors and slowly walk down the steps of the library, staying crouched. You raise a hand to shield your face from the blowing ash and look across the quad. The giant ash clouds are still drifting across campus, but you don't see anything moving in them. You also don't hear anything other than the scream of the wind. You breathe in, adjust your mask, and start heading toward Lisa's dormitory. As you walk on the rolling banks of dust and ash engulfs you, you can still see the sun shining weakly through the haze. Everything around you is obscured and curtained gray and black. You turn around and walk backwards for a few steps, then slowly spin around. You catch a glimpse of a few dark patches illuminating the dust, but none of them look like they're moving. When you turn back toward your original direction, you stop dead in your tracks. Ahead of you, wreathed in pale sunlight, is a figure shuffling across the path. They're tall, pale, and at least 7 feet tall, and you can hear them softly sobbing. Their hands are covering their face. You can see black marks spread across their skin. Not sure if the marks are from fire or plague, but the ghost's posture catches your eye. Its entire ribcage seems to have been pulled out from its chest, pulling its spine out of alignment and leaving the rest of its body in contorted S shape. You freeze in place, hold your breath, and glance around from the corners of your eyes. 2 more ghosts emerge from the clouds, both sobbing. Like the first, they're covering their faces and shuffling along, paying you no attention. You watch them pass in front of you, and hear several pairs of footsteps behind you. 2 more ghosts walk up from behind you and begin following the ruined cobblestone path. Then 2 more. A ragged procession of ghost streams past you, and from the corners of your eyes you can see that some of them don't have eyes or mouths. Still, they're hunched over as if they're crying to themselves, with their hands gripping their heads or hugging their bodies. You watch them go, feeling the air in your lungs slowly deplete. Some of their bodies seem to phase through yours, sending chills through you. To take your mind out of breathing, you try to count them. By the time you make it to 10, your lungs are screaming. Finally, after the 14th ghost vanishes in the cloud dust ahead, and none seem to follow in their wake, you let go of your breath and suck in air through your nose. Black spots swim before your eyes, and you can feel yourself swaying. Slowly, carefully, you ease yourself to your knees, and start taking greedy breaths through your mouth. Your heart is beating hard on your clothes, and the rush of elation from being able to breathe freely almost makes you dizzy. After a minute or two, the cloud passes, and you see the ruins of campus ahead of you again, or at least parts of it. You get up and jog toward Lisa's dormitory, keeping your head turned towards the banks of dust still swirling across the center of the quad. Finally, you find the dormitory. You walk up the front steps, taking care to step over the broken wooden beams littering the staircase. They look like they could have been barricades at one point, or maybe just broken timbers dried outside. You pause outside the doors, which are still shut. You turn one of the handles and it turns easily. Alright, here we go. No rush, stay quiet. Turn the handle and open the door, and peer inside. A few of the dirty windows let some light in, and you step over the threshold. Yikes, this is fucked up. There's claw marks everywhere and graffiti, and blood and stuff. Ugh. The entry hall is untouched by fire, but it's ruined nonetheless. The front desk, the furniture, and the paintings on the walls have all been ripped apart, broken, or tossed around. You notice long scratch marks on the floors, as if someone is dragging sleds with metal runners across the wooden boards. The rugs have been shredded, and you see the scratches stretch up the main stairway too. You take a few steps deeper into the building, and notice the stench. Musty, molten clothes, old blood, and decaying flesh. You look around and spot a pile of sacks on the stairs. Dozens of long, black hemp bags are stacked on top of one another. Around them sits a yellowed stain that's soaked into the floor. Body bags. You glance into the adjoining lounge and billiard rooms. You start walking toward the staircase. Keep yourself pressed against the wall to stay out of sight. 3/4 of the way to the stairs, you hear something moving. Oh, it better not be Lisa's ghost, but horribly disfigured. You stop and listen, but the sound is muffled, like it's coming from another room. Is it above me? Below me? I better save in case I get killed again. Page 2. Okay. It sounds like something dragging itself across the ground. Something heavy. You press yourself hard against the wall, trying to feel it for vibrations. Soon you realize something is coming from inside the walls. Here he hits a breath through one of the cracks in the wall a few feet away. For a moment you glimpse a goat-like yellow eye with a slitted pupil. Ghost. Who are you? Do we talk to the ghost? Let's run up the stairs. Savior again. Hey, we're getting important. Let's run up the stairs. Fuck that. No more interacting with ghosts. Sprint toward the main staircase, staying low and trying not to run into anything. Shit. If it alerts any others, I'm screwed. Make it to the foot of the staircase and look up toward the higher landings, then the floor above. There's only drifting dust and piles of clothes. You take the stairs 2 at a time, or still fixed on the floor above. You're strained to listen for a splintering floorboard creaking door, but it's silent. The noise from your footfalls, on the other hand, seems to echo throughout the building. Each time you climb another step, it seems to shake the entire staircase. I just have to make it to Lee's room, and I can hide. You make it halfway up the stairs, and you hear a sound like harsh whispering. Stop and crouch down, pressing yourself against the banisters. The whispering continues for a second or two and then stops, leaving an eerie silence. Maybe it's better to keep moving. I've already made a lot of noise. You rise to your feet again and glance around. No. You stop as you catch the glint of a single bloodshot eye peering down at you from a ragged hole in the ceiling. The ceiling? The eye disappears and a thin stream of blood pours in the hole above, spattering the stairs and your clothes. Fuck. You start running up the rest of the staircase, but as soon as you do, you hear a chain that crashes and thumps from above you. Excuse me? The eaves overhead crack and buckle, as something heavy is treading across the floor above, and you hear a guttural roar. As soon as you reach the top of the stairs, you see the hallways are blocked with piles of furniture stacked 6 feet high. Desiccated corpses litter the ground in front of them. Above you, the ceiling bursts open and something huge, black and blood falls through. It lands in front of you and grabs you with 4 of its dozens of arms. You see hundreds of eyes spread across its flabby, cancer flesh, and which as it opens its huge maw. Not great at that again. The last thing you feel is your bones snapping as it forces you into its mouth. We have died. We should have said hello to the ghost. You stare back at the crack for a few seconds. When you answer, it's in a whisper. My name is Uzo. I used to be a scholar here. Alive? After all this time? No, you're not. Can't be. I am. I skipped the campus and now I've come back to look for someone. Came for what? What? I came to find a ghost, Lise Bouveau. She used to live here. Lise Bouveau. She wouldn't come out of her room. She then tried to find a hiding place. Stupid. They can break down the door. Who are you? Found a place to hide. Couldn't find me, but I want to get out of here now. Out of the walls. Alright. Don't walk up the stairs. There are others up there. Hungry others. There's more in the basement. That's where a lot of people try to hide. Still there. They try to eat anything they can get. They try to eat me. Is there a safe way to get up to the higher floors? The dumbwaiter in the kitchen. That's how I got in here. I waited until they were all gone. There's a latch on the outside. I couldn't get it to open. Can you open it? Let me out. Okay, I can let you out, but you have to promise not to hurt me. I won't. I just want out. Alright, I'll let you out. I'll find the dumbwaiter. You can fit one person, but don't let it drop to the basement. That's where a lot of the hungry ones are. Alright. I'll use the dumbwaiter, but I won't let it drop down. Thanks. There's a sound of something heavy scraping against the wall, and the yellow eye disappears. Soon the sound fades away, leaving you alone again. You make your way through the lounge to the right and find a door leading to a dilapidated kitchen. Broken plates and glasses litter the floor, and you notice that drawers of silverware have been pulled out and emptied. Maybe people were looking for weapons. There's some spoons left over, but no knives at all. You search for the door to the dumbwaiter, but you don't see it where you'd expect it to be. Finally, you find it tucked between two counters, just around knee height. You clear away some of the broken china and glass on the floor. You get down on your knees, and lift the little metal latch that keeps the dumbwaiter door closed. You slide your hand down and grip the door by its ornate little knob. Then you feel a chill rack your body. You take your hand off the knob and stare at the door to the dumbwaiter. A faint smell is leaking out from behind it. Subtle but distinct. It smells like blood. Without thinking, you reach out and knock softly on the door. A few seconds pass in silence, then you hear a sharp knock on the other side. Let me out. You swallow hard and slide yourself in front of one of the counters next to the dumbwaiter door, so you're pressed up against it. Don't hurt me, please. Then you snake one hand around the side of the counter and grip the knob on the dumbwaiter door. You pull open the door quickly and pull back your hand so it's out of sight, then curl up as much as you can against the counter. Hear something begin scraping across the floor, and spot two black hands reach out beyond the edge of the counter. They're dragging a body behind them, but the head and shoulders are so mangled that it looks more like a collection of bones, muscles, and hair than a person. The ghost drags itself across the kitchen floor toward the entrance, its body pushing the shards of glass and china out of the way. You see that there's nothing below its waist, no legs, no pelvis. Just before it leaves the kitchen, you can see it push itself up on its arms and turn its half-ruined head in your direction. When it speaks, its voice is raspy and weak. "Thank you." You nod to it shakily and whisper back. "You're welcome. Don't go to the basement." "I won't." The ghost turns its head back to the doorway and slithers off. You take a minute or two to breathe and catch your breath, then get back on your hands and knees. You crawl through the darkened dumbwaiter and pause, and the metallic scent of blood hits you harder this time. If I light a match... No, I don't want to see. You crawl forward and try to breathe through your mouth. You curl up in the dumbwaiter and search for the cord with your hands. You find it and start pulling. It's hard, but you manage to raise the dumbwaiter a few inches. Keep pulling, hand over hand, until the kitchen disappears. You're left in the pitch black shaft. You smell moldy wallpaper, rotting wet wood, and dust as you climb higher. The smell of blood is still overpowering. Finally, after what seems like an hour, you see a faint light above you. It outlines the shape of a small door. You manage to get the dumbwaiter aligned with it, then kick your foot against the door. The door shakes but doesn't open. Now latch on the outside. You brace yourself against the back wall of the dumbwaiter and you kick at the door hard. The door slams open as the latch is ripped off the wood, and you see the dark hallway beyond. Let's take a good look at this hall. Oh my god, there's a whole... No wait, that's the carpet. That's just the carpet. Okay, I thought it was just blood. Or maybe it is blood because the wall is a little red. Or maybe that's just the wood. You crawl out of the dumbwaiter, rub your sore arms, then light a match so you can see. Around you in the hall are mattresses, chests, and broken furniture. This should be the right floor. After feeling your way down the hallway, you find Lisa's doorway. "Please." You can see that the door is open and part of the frame is splintered, like someone tried to bash or hack at it. You press yourself up against the wall and listen, but you don't hear anything. Peer around the edge of the door frame and look into the room, but nothing moves. Oh, thank God, some nice music. It's been too creepy for too long. Let's take a good look at Lisa's room. What is that? Man, what a mess. There's dim light coming through the windows, which falls on dusty, broken furniture, and the remains of the door, which is lying on the floor. Someone broke in. You exhale and step inside, taking care not to step on the splinters from the door. Clouds of dust rise around you as you shuffle around. Light is streaming through the windows. The thin coating of grime makes it impossible to look outside. You light a match and start picking your way through the debris. It seems like someone ransacked the place. The drawers on the dresser have been pulled out. The closet has been emptied and clothes spilled on the floor. And all Lisa's belongings are scattered around in little piles. You kneel down and pick up the smooth shards of something that looks like a face. Her theater mask. Then you spot the heavy cast iron box lying on the floor. I wonder if I chose differently, I would have gotten a different girl and that would be... I don't know. Then you spot the heavy cast iron box lying on the floor. Walk closer and crouch down next to it. It's like been scuffed by something metal, like a crowbar. There are a lot of smaller scratches on the padlock, but the lock is still intact. Got a key? I save again. This is the box where she kept that head we stole Oh, hell no. She had a key for it, but I can't remember where she hid it. Let's see. Maybe I think it's one of the lights. You start to feel around for the key, but a groan from out of the hallway makes you freeze. It's great, I don't have time. Finding these is more important than opening her lockbox. You stand up and look around the rest of the room, searching for a diary, a note, or something else that would tell you where Lise was taken. Taken? You search for almost 15 minutes before your eyes fall on a white coat. You glanced over it, thinking it'd be part of the ripped sheet. But you left it off the desk where it had been lying holed up, stained with blood and has a foot-long rip running down the back, making it useless to wear. The surgeons in the infirmary wore this. I guess this coat got ruined, so they left it here. Which means that the people who came here were from the infirmary. Maybe they took her back there. Oh hell, we're back inside. It's creepy. As you arrive at the foot of the infirmary building steps, you catch the metallic scent of blood and the sickly sweet odor of rotting flesh drifting from the building. Piles of trash are gathered around the front of the building. You see mattresses, clothing, old bandages, blankets, and what look like makeshift tents. When you raise your eyes to the higher steps, you can see the remnants of cascaded blood. Flapping dark stains have been left on the marble, like the marks of lapping waves on the beach. You also notice a trail that caked dust and grime the stairs. Looks like something was recently dragged up the steps. Recent? You climb to the top of the stairs and peer the doors, which stand open. Both polished wooden doors have large gashes and chunks missing from them, as if they were forced open with sledgehammers. When you step inside, the air is filled with the overwhelming stench of septic bodies. You look down and find yourself standing in leggy dried blood, broken timbers, and shards of what look like porcelain. When you raise your eyes, you find a 10-foot wide hole in the ceiling. Yellow stains are in the hole, the color of old blood. Damn. Looks like blood soaked all the way through the ceiling. Amidst the debris on the floor, spot the trail from the steps, the drag marks. You light a match and walk further into the building, following the trail. Cast a light around the room and spot a hallway at the back. You look down the hallway, then toward the dark stairway to your right, which seems to head up. I say it again. Let's try the hallway. Continue down the hallway, casting your light over every inch of it before walking forward. When you shine your matchlight at the ceiling, you find faded frescoes of the human form, rendered spread eagle with beautiful geometric patterns traced across them. 2 doors punctuate the corridor. Wow. Jesus Christ. That's disgusting. Quietly you push open the first door and find a patient ward with rows of beds on either side. Some beds are overturned and the others are collapsed. Some of them still appear to have corpses lying in them. Porcelain tubs are positioned near some of the beds, with their brownish residue and strange shapes. You get down on one knee to look more closely at the tubs. You smell preservation fluid, a clear alcohol-like liquid that surgeons use to keep organs fresh after being removed from the body. When you raise your match with the tub, you see rotted limbs and organs piled at the bottom. You realize that the preservation fluid evaporated a long time ago. You get up and notice a corpse on the floor, dressed in a surgeon's apron. The body is broken and contorted, as if they were beaten. When you kneel down to check it, you discover that skull has been bashed in. What happened here? You decide to look upstairs to see if you can find any more clues. Ah, good, we're just going upstairs anyway. Good, good. You begin walking up the stairs, taking care not to make too much noise. You shield your match with your hand, trying not to let it shine too far ahead and alert anything at the top of the stairs. Cages. Reach the top and silently shine your light around the room. It's a vast, loft-like space, and the area around the steps is full of rows of overturned white bathtubs. The smell of alcohol and blood is overpowering. You can see the gaping hole in the entry hall ceiling a few dozen paces away. You take a step forward toward the hole, your boot sinks into a thin layer of sludge. Preservation fluid mixed with blood. Looks like it's spilled out of the tubs. You turn around and walk toward the north end of the loft. As your light illuminates the darkness, you can make out dozens of sacks piled up against the walls. When you walk closer, you realize that they're bodies. Each of them is neatly wrapped up in bed sheets and stacked like cordwood. When you move on, you start to see steel cages that bolt to the floor, like prison cells. Arranged in one row against the walls and one row running down the center of the loft. Glancing around, you count at least 18 cages, with each enough space for 10 people. Damn, these cages are huge. You look at one of the cells in the middle row and see 6 corpses still locked inside, collapsed and rotting in the wood of the floor. Each one has a black bag over its head. What the? Why were they imprisoning people? Were some of them transforming? You notice that all the corpses in the cage are missing their right arms. When you walk closer, you see that some are also missing legs. You reach through the bars and gingerly let the bag off on the corpses' heads. Beneath the sack, the rotted face is still human, but tight and drawn. You can still see signs of black lesions on its skin, along with the bulging black growths on its neck. No, a lot of them look like they were in the early stages. You walk back toward the rows of porcelain tubs. Thought you'd seen a few that were tipped over. You make it back to the giant hole in the floor and carefully skirt around it, listening to the wooden boards under your feet crack as more of the timber splinter. On the other side, you find 4 tubs that are still upright. You walk over to the closest one and look inside. Through the cloudy, brown-tinted preservation liquid, you can see a pile of organs. There's lungs, hearts, kidneys, and even eyes. In the next tub, you find an entire corpse lying at the bottom, staring blindly up at you. Its face is deflated and its body is puffed up, giving it a grotesque corpulence. Then at the corner of your eye, you spot a head of dirty red hair spilling over the edge of one of the tubs. Is that? Your breathing quickens as you walk to the side of that tub. Who else had hair like that? You peer down into the tub and find that the preservation fluid is clouded with blood and dust. The corpse is submerged up to its forehead. You grab a broken piece of wood from the floor and try to get under one of the arms that push the body above the fluid. After a minute of struggling, you manage to lift the head above the dirty fluid. It's her. Though her skin is spongy and sickly yellow and her eyes turn completely white, Lisa's face slumped against the side of the tub. You struggle a bit more with the piece of wood, and soon Lisa's body is sitting up in the tub, her chin resting against her collarbone. You hold your match close to the fluid and see that her limbs are all intact. Then a thought occurs to you. I don't see any lesions. When you let both of her legs out of the water, you see no traces of tumors or black marks. Her torso and arms don't show any either. Was she dead when they preserved her, or? Her eyes fall in long, parallel scratches on the side of the tub. They look like they were made by fingernails. You can imagine Lisa lying in the tub trying to pull herself out. Someone was holding her down. They drowned her. But why would they kill someone who wasn't? Suddenly, the realization solidifies in your mind. There was a window of a few days where the plague could be detected before it had fully spread. Symptoms might show up in some places before metastasis had occurred. It would be laborious to replace all the infected tissue, and it would take a huge amount of readily available flesh, but they could try to root it out if they start cannibalizing parts from other students. They were harvesting uninfected tissue and blood from the people upstairs, transplanting it to the patients in the ward. The blood was probably taken to those with no symptoms, to try to replace the infected blood of the patients downstairs. You glance down and see a pool of dried blood stain the floorboards. You raise your light and spot the battered corpse of a surgeon collapsed near the tub. When the people camped outside broke in and found out what was happening, there was a riot. It killed everyone. There's no cure and no treatment. You look down at Lisa's sickly, stained flesh and gently stroke her hair. It feels like dry, dead grass. You weren't even infected. He still killed you. After a few minutes, you turn away and head back downstairs. When you check the second door in the hallway, you find another ward. All the beds have been stacked against the far wall to make room for crudely assembled wooden frames. Stretched across the frames are pallid white pieces of leather, like calf skin. There are tubs here too, but they're filled with some other liquid, something that reeks and burns your eyes. So let's look for supplies. I think curiosity has killed the cat enough today. You start walking around the room's periphery, looking for shoes, tools, fabric, or anything else that could help. Find plenty of surgical tools and sewing supplies, but you really want are shoes. Need something that's 4 sizes too small would work if you could jury read them. As you search, however, you hear a low, grating moaning from the hall, then a sharp, sudden scream. What the hell was that? You head back to the hallway and peer out. Please, I hope that's not you. You walk down the last stretch of the long hallway. At the end, you see a pair of double doors. They're made almost entirely of stained glass. Each pane depicts a standing human body with its organs exposed. Dim light flickers through the colored panes, creating a kaleidoscope of pale greens and scarlet reds as it shines to the glass organs. In the midst of the light, however, you see a shadow moving. You extinguish your light and creep out to the doors, pressing the right side of your goggles to a space left by a missing chunk of glass. On the other side, you can see candles burning, illuminating a cavernous circular room with rows and rows of seats, each one rising above the others in steps. An operating theater. In the center is a half circle of standing mirrors, all centered on one figure. The figure is seated on a stool with a needle and thread in their hand. Their skin is bone white, and their form is lithe and slim. Wearing some kind of dress made of black material. You guess that's leather, given the materials in the other rooms. They have a smooth, hairless head, and you can see from the reflections in the mirrors that they're wearing a blood-red mask. I think that's her. Rue? As you watch, the figure stitches a piece of flesh to their neck, carefully making passes with the needle and thread, never flinching. Oh my god, it's Rue. I think. That's the only person who would do that. As you watch the thing work, you realize you've been holding your breath since you'd bent your head to look through the hole in the glass. You try to quietly exhale, but the shuddering breath makes a slight hiss as it comes out. The figure abruptly stops and gazes into the mirror, then drops the needle and thread. You watch them stand up slowly and turn the doors. Oh, hello. As soon as the thing's face turns to you, you start slowly walking backward. Each step that takes you away from the door scrapes across wooden debris and piles of trash in the tile floors, making even more noise. Wait a minute, why was that name text green? What the fuck is that? In mute horror, you watch the doors that operating theater creak open and rusted hinges. A masked figure stands in the doorway. Let's take a good look at this monstrosity. What the hell are you? Got no face, kind of. Who are you? There's something in his hand. A bone saw. There he is. His voice is warm and rich, but the empty black void is leaking from the eyes of its mask and the chill through your body. It takes a step toward you. You can see the leather dress it's wearing, as well as the stitches crisscrossing its body. As it walks, a bloody rent opens in the air above its head. With each step it takes, the gash gets longer as if its form is carving gash in reality. Thin filaments of blood stretch out of the gash, connecting the thing's body like puppet strings. One of them links to a long, thin needle gripped in the ghost's other hand. No wait, maybe it's Elise. Your mind turns to the knife in your belt. He's got pretty eyes. What does he think of me? Oh boy, we're gonna die, brothers. We are going to die. Nah, this is traffic. See, if it's beautiful, we're gonna get killed. Stay guarded. You keep your eyes locked on the ghost, never lowering your guard. Oh, you're quite pretty. The ghost scoffs at you. That's all. The ghost begins to circle you in the wide hallway. Try to keep up your facade of calm, but your hand is reaching for a knife at your belt. What would he trade for his eyes? You feel your breathing get faster as you watch the ghost circle you. Can I fire if she comes at me? She doesn't care about losing blood. Maybe I damage her skin suit thing. Oh, you don't want these eyes. They wouldn't complement your face. That's okay. I'll just keep pushing them on my desk. They remind me of someone. Before you can respond, the ghost takes 2 quick steps back towards you, slashes out with the saw. Yikes, doing a pose. How creepy. It's creepy, bros. It's creepy. You step back just in time, but the teeth rip through your shirt and knock you out of balance. We're losing this fight. Without hesitating, the ghost takes another step and jabs a suturing needle into your exposed skin. You shout and slap its hand away, but not before the needle carves a deep rent in your flesh. You scramble backward until your back hits the wall of the hallway and fumble with the knife at your waist. Pull out and raise it, but the ghost just stares at you, shaking its head. Don't struggle. Ruin your skin and then I'll have to throw all of you away. The grip is tight and sweaty. Gun that it's like to be in a fight. Don't do this. I just want to talk. You seem boring. I'd rather just slice you open and see the interesting parts. You swallow hard and try to remember what it was like fighting Izaki. Back then, remember taking your whole opponent at once. Not looking at their feet, their face, or their hands. Your body would react before your mind did. The ghost keeps its arms at its side and twirls its suturing needle in a circle, watching you with its eyes, empty sockets, and humming. You keep your knife in front of you in guard position and your other hand raised next to it, in case you need to grab the ghost. The ghost keeps circling you, humming its little song. Turn every muscle in your body, waiting for it to spring at you. The ghost makes a couple of small feints and lunges, toying with you. After a while, you realize it's slowly circling closer, trying to distract you with its stabs. Now or never. If she comes to me when she's ready, or I come to her when I choose. Grip the knife tighter and take one diagonal step away from the ghost, then another diagonal step lunging toward it. Slashes out with the saw, but you instinctively sidestep the swipe. You stab its gut, trying to slice through its skin. It narrowly avoids the tip of her blade. You feel a sharp pain in your outstretched arm and glance down to see the suturing needle digging into your forearm. You clumsily kick forward, managing to connect with its knee. It goes by, twists as the leg gives way, and shouts in pain. The needle slides out of you, and you reel backward until you can lean against the wall. Blood is dripping from your arm, and you feel like the strength is drained from your body. You look down the darkened hallway and suck in another breath. I can run, but I can't leave without her. You turn toward the ghost, who's brushing the dust off its dress and walking toward you again. You start walking backward. Don't want to fight you. I came here looking for someone. A girl. The ghost paces back and forth, edging closer to you and keeping you pressed against the wall. You try to slide along the wall and get away, but she matches your steps, keeping you pinned down. A girl. A woman. Very lovely woman. She used to attend the school. Ah, I see. Who was she? The ghost swings its suturing needle on the edge of its bloody string, watching you stutter. Her name was Elise, but I knew her just as Elise. As soon as you say the name, the ghost stops. Its voice becomes low and hoarse. Why is he looking for her? I'm an old friend. Let's see what became of her. Who is he? How does he know that name? Who told him? The ghost's voice is full of suspicion, almost anger. It stops pacing and sprints directly toward you. The bones are raised across its chest. In that moment, you know what you have to do. Don't make me choose. You step forward and meet the ghost halfway, grabbing the arm with the bones on your free hand and trying to restrain it by pinning it across the torso. Its saw arm flexes under your grip, but you must use your momentum to force the arm down. Meanwhile, its other hand rams the suturing needle into your chest, piercing your skin and digging deep into her side. You grimace in pain as it twists the needle and drives it deeper, but your grip on the knife only tightens. You glance down and see the ghost's pale, exposed stomach through the hole in its chest. You take one step back to give yourself space between your body and the ghost, then drive your blade to her belly button. Oof. Once you pierce the skin, you feel the knife hit something soft and rotten. You jerk your arm up and hear the skin split open. The ghost gasps and makes a choking sound, dropping the saw on the floor with a clatter. Both of its hands fly to its stomach. It looks up at you and shrieks. Don't rip it! The ghost tries to push away, but you drag the knife downward, tearing gash down its stomach until there's a hole large enough to fit a dinner plate. Underneath, you see a desiccated body covered in waxy skin. There's a sickly yellow tint of the preservation fluid. The ghost takes 2 steps back and lets out a wail as it looks down at exposed flesh. No, don't look at it! The ghost collapses to its knees, its torso hunched over its hands, try to cover the rip. It stabs blindly at the suturing needle in its hand, jamming into your chest. You gasp, then step back as the ghost pulls it out and tries to stab again, missing you. You lower the knife and press one hand to your side to staunch the blood flowing out. Then you take 2 steps forward and grab the chin of the ghost's mask. Immediately, the ghost's hands fly to her wrist and grab it. It raises its head to look up at you and pleads in a whispered voice. No, don't. You tighten your grip on the mask and hold the knife to the ghost's throat. It's been all apart. I'll cut it to pieces. No, don't. What do you want? You take your hand off its mask, keep the knife near its neck. Its hand falls from yours and goes back to covering the rip in its stomach. You reach into your satchel with your blood-covered hand and pull out the grimoire. You drop it onto the floor and kick open the cover. It is Elise. Sigh heavily and point down at the book. touch the page. The ghost looks down the book and recoils. What? It's a... Don't lock me away. Press the knife to the ghost's neck, slicing into flesh. Its second arrow to its teeth, and its hand rises to stop yours. Just touch the page. Please. The ghost raises its masked face to look at you. I'm not that hideous, am I? You whisper back to it. No, you're not. Now, just... please. The ghost reaches forward with a quavering hand, its black eye hole staring up at you. The hand passes through the paper, and soon the grimoire begins to sink its arm in like quicksand. Its body warps and contorts as more and more it's pulled in, until its feet disappear into the book. Reach for the grimoire, and pick it up and stare at the cover. You heave a heavy sigh, close your eyes and tilt your head back. They did. Got her into the grimoire. Start walking back to the entrance, keeping your eyes from straying back from the floor. You don't want to look back into the wards or up the stairs at the body stacked up against the walls. You just want to forget this place, the stains, the tubs, the smell of preservative. But you know you'll be back here in your nightmares. You get back to the library half an hour later, still bleeding from your chest. Your vision is blurry, and you can't think straight. You sit down at a nearby table, and nearly miss the seat of the chair. Your hands grope blindly through your satchel as you find your stylus and some bandages. Okay. I just need to draw a spell map. You don't care about organ damage. Right now, you just need this to stop bleeding. You clumsily draw a spell map for hemostasis and whisper the words. Please. You feel the blood stop trickling from the wound and breathe a sigh of relief. Now let's see about internal bleeding later. I have to sleep now. Cross your arms on the tabletop and lower your head into them. Oh God. Will we have another pleasant dream? We're back in our school days? What? Izagi? No. When you wake up, it's daylight again. You clutch at your chest, but the blood is all dried. You sigh, then let a long, pained groan. I had to keep going. I have to keep going. Okay. I want to see Izagi last. So we have to go for Rue. I wonder what she's become. Rue. The last time I saw her, she collapsed in the hallway near her office. Remember the crowd of faculty members standing hall, gathered around Rue's body. She wasn't there. She wasn't dead. There's blood on her face, near her lips. You carried her off into the infirmary. I have to go back there. You shudder hard as you remember waking up in the infirmary yourself. You're lying in that bed with curtains on three sides of you and the wall behind the bed. You remember pulling back on the curtains to look at the patient on the bed next to you. You remember the black contoured shape under the blanket and the black ichor oozing out of its warped mouth. You feel bile rise in your throat, but you swallow it back down. You feel the burning as it recedes. That thing could have survived, none of them could have. They burned or they ran out of food. Even though you believe that, you don't want to go to an infirmary. I don't want to go back there, it's spooky. The only other place that comes to mind is Rue's office. Do you remember where you found it last time? The stuff in the tub could still be growing. God, what if it's a skeleton now? What if it was walking around? You decide that Rue's office is a better bet. There will likely be fewer ghosts there, and you know the faculty building a lot better than the infirmary building. stand up from the table and nod to the entrance. Reach for the handle and pull open the door. Then take a deep breath as you look out at Dust Devils watering across the quad. Oh boy, we return back here in this terrible hell. And unfortunately I've run out of time, but if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and comment what you think so far. Are you excited? Anyways, if you want to play this visual novel for yourself, I will leave the link to the story page down below. If you want to watch other visual novels, please check my channel down below. Anyways, thank you, and take care.